Hi, I'm Melissa Vance from the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm excited to have you with us this evening. First segment, we will have my guest, Katie Alia, who is one of our board members, along with Andra Solis, talking all about the farm tour for this year. Then we'll be moving to a discussion about a trip to China that you can join us on. And finally, we'll be speaking with Jackie Carberry about Main Street Centerville and the upcoming celebration they have going on. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back. So as I said, our first guests are Katie Alia and Andra Solis talking about the farm tour, and we're so excited to have you both with me today.
Thank you. We're excited to be here.
Yes, very.
It always seems like the farm tour comes around and we think, man, has it been a whole year already? But here we are talking about the farm tour, one of our community's favorite events that we do. Katie, tell us a little bit about why we have the farm tour and what that's all about.
Sure. Yeah, we are so excited for this year's farm tour. Every year, or for the past 5 years, this is our 5th year, the Chamber has put on a farm tour that showcases and highlights and invites the community out to a local farm. As you may or may not be aware, you know, agriculture is a huge part of our county's, a part of everything that goes on in Wayne County.
Absolutely. So it's a big economic boost.
Yes. So we have really enjoyed getting the opportunity to travel out to different parts of Wayne County to highlight and showcase these different farms.
So we've been so far to the Walthers farm, we've been to Bell's Strawberry Farm, kind of thinking backwards here.
Yeah, we've been to the Golliers
right.
in Cambridge City. We've been to Bowman Superior Genetics. And this, our 5th year, we will be going to Doherty Orchards.
We are so excited about this because we think it's just going to be a totally different experience than maybe what our guests have had on the tours before. But before we go into the details of what this year's farm tour will be, I wanted to give you an opportunity just to tell our viewers a little bit about the orchards and your family and how long you've been in existence.
Great. I'm really excited to talk about Doherty Orchards. We've been in operation since 1883. It's the oldest orchard in Indiana, and I'm the 6th generation owner of Doherty Orchards. So it's a very farm, family-friendly environment.
It's amazing. When you think of 6 generations, that's a lot of history in Wayne County
yes.
specifically, but it's a lot of knowledge that's been passed down over time in this orchard that has just grown into what it is today
yes.
and still growing.
Yes. It's always been, obviously we grow apples and we've grown other produce in the past and still continue to grow that as well. But really the thing that we hone in on is the tradition and the family aspect of Doherty Orchards.
When people come out and they visit the orchard, just usually it's in the fall
yes.
and they get to experience a lot of the harvest type activities, but you have a petting zoo, which is incredibly fun for families to be able to see some of the animals that you have there.
Yes. We've had a petting zoo for about 25 years now. We try to make it very cost effective for families to be able to experience. Not everyone, there's less people that are actually doing farms now, so it gives children and families a chance to get to see farm animals and see kind of the production of crops at the orchard.
It's really neat. I remember coming out there when I was a kid with my grandparents and getting apples and cider and doing all of that, and it was so much fun. So it's very nostalgic for me
yes.
to be able to come back out there and
I think that's what we hear a lot from families, and that's what I enjoy hearing the most is about how families have come for generations and they continue to bring their next generation out to see the orchard.
Right. So you're doing some new things out there now, though, right?
We are. We kind of have gone on to think about more as a family place to visit. In the past years, it was more of a production for people to come in and pick produce and to, use that produce in their homes. But now we're really looking at family events, activities. We do have a pumpkin patch where we pick your own pumpkins. We added strawberries this year, pick your own strawberries. And we also have a small winery and brewery at the orchard.
And that's brand new.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're hoping to be able to serve in the fall this year.
Yeah. And so that's going to be a really neat part, I think, Katie, don't you,
Yes.
about the tour this year is not just seeing the orchards, but getting to see some of those extra
some of those
things.
other parts too, Doherty's, that for the folks who have been there years ago, a lot has changed, and the exciting things that are happening are going to be great for everyone to experience.
And when people come to the farm tour, they are encouraged not to drive themselves.
Yes.
So we have transportation for them this year again.
Yes, at each tour we provide bus transportation from a pickup site to the farm tour location. So this year we will be having transportation pickup at Centerville High School, and we really do encourage everybody to take the buses. We try to save the parking for those that might have difficulty, handicap, folks that may not be as good getting up and down bus steps. So we try to leave that parking for them, and it's great. You can just leave your car there, get on the bus, and they'll bring you back afterwards.
Which, if you're bringing your family, that's kind of a fun experience in and of itself,
It is.
too. The kids enjoy that, and that's a neat thing.
Yes.
They will come out and they get a delicious meal.
Yes, we are so excited. Smiley's will be catering our meal this year, and the food is going to be fantastic. So you get a wonderful tour of Doherty Orchards, a delicious meal, and it's just going to be a fun evening.
Smiley's has really ramped up their catering efforts and their food, and it's a great meal and a great bargain for people that want to go in and have lunch or dinner. And
it's going to be quite a unique experience for such a low cost.
Right.
It's going to be great.
And we also added last year a children's area that the 4-H club helped coordinate for us, and it was such a hit last year, we decided we're going to bring it back again.
Yeah, and the past tours, we started noticing that the kids would get a little bit bored on the informational stops throughout the tour. The adults are loving it, but the 5- and 6-year-olds are kind of bored out of their minds. So last year we had great success with the kids area. So they got to have some fun activities, games, and things while the adults went on the tour.
Right.
And we're doing that again this year, so we've got some fun things planned for those kids that get to come on the tour.
So for those that are watching, you think typically, oh, if I go to the farm, it's going to be seeing the cows, petting the goats, whatever. And really what we try and do with these is make it more informational about the business of farming in general and the technology that's involved in modern day farming and how all of that flows together, and really educate the community on the farming needs, and our committee tries to do some advocacy throughout the year, but it's really an educational opportunity for those that attend, and then the kids have such a great time with those activities, as you said.
Yes, it's great because a lot of, we talk about how important agriculture is, but there are that's a limited group that's involved with agriculture on a day-to-day basis, and it's kind of a foreign world to everyone else. So this is just a perfect and great opportunity to bring both of those worlds together and let folks from the outside see what goes on behind the scenes and the advances in technology that we didn't have a few years ago even. I mean, it's astounding what has changed. So it's a really unique event that we put on for the community.
And to be able to spotlight the great things that our ag community is doing. And so really to highlight what your family has done over the years is going to be special for us. We have just a couple minutes, but I wanted to just quickly talk about the stations. They'll be learning about the history.
Yes, we're going to have a history station. We're going to have a cider making station where we can talk about cider, and you've talked a lot about all the technology, but a lot of the thing that's kind of special about our orchard is that we use a lot of old ways of doing things. There's obviously some newer things, but our grater and cider press are over 60 years old, so to be able to show some of the history of that. We're going to be a station where we're showing the grading or how we sort and process apples. There's going to be a station about the growing cycle of apples, and then we have a beekeeper coming in to talk about the beekeeping that happens at Doherty Orchards. We collect honey from our apple blossoms, and it's produced for us, and we sell it there at the farm. And then also we're going to talk about the winery and brewery.
So we really invite folks to get on our website to learn more about the farm tour for this year. You can go to wcareachamber.org and get all of that information. If you want to register, registration will be opening soon, so stay tuned for that. It's a very low cost, a family-friendly evening, and we have a limit to the number of people that we can accept, so be sure to register early. Thank you both, Katie and Andrea, for being with me today and for all that you do for the Chamber and for the ag community. We're just so excited to do this with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back to talk with Ed about that China trip I mentioned, so stay tuned. I'm back with the one I'd like to call my partner in crime, Ed De La Paz, and we're talking about the China trip that will be coming up in less than a year now.
Yes, we're looking at April 2020, and we're looking at doing a chamber trip to China.
This is the first time we've done anything like this, but we really feel like it's going to be a neat opportunity for our chamber members, their employees, and the community as well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're looking at a 9-day trip where we're visiting Beijing, we're visiting the Great Wall, the Tiananmen Square, and a lot of other things that's happening through that 9-day trip.
There's a lot packed into this. It's going to be a really full, not very restful trip, but to get to see so many things in 9 days with a guided trip where you're not having to find your way around or question what should I eat. All of the meals are included, round trip airfare, attractions. It's going to be a phenomenal opportunity for our community to be able to participate in something like this.
Oh, definitely. There's going to be so much, and the thing is that we're going as a community too.
Right.
So it's not like you're going over there and you're just by yourself. No, you're going to be with a lot of chamber members and everything.
For our community, for the businesses, they'll have a chance, if they want, on one day to be able to connect with other industries in that area, to potentially establish some business partnerships. But for the most part, it's just going to be a really great vacation option at a fantastic price.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. Definitely. So, if you want to know more about the actual breakdown from day to day, if you need to know more information about the visa process or anything about the actual trip itself, feel free to visit the Chamber website, WCAreachamber.org, and then /China, and that will take you to the page that has all the information, and you can download the packet, and then feel free to call the office if you have any questions.
That's right. Even though we're not traveling until next year, we do need people to register, get their deposit in, so we are able to start working on the accommodations, the airfare, the transportation between here and Chicago. So be sure to check out our website. Again, that's WCAreachamber.org. We would love to have you join us. Reach out to your family and friends and bring them along too. It's going to be a great thing. Welcome back. I am so excited to introduce to you Jackie Carberry, who really needs no introduction. She is the owner of Warm Glow Candle Company and also today representing Main Street Centerville, which has been a work in progress over this past, how long, year or so?
Well, really even a little longer than a year. Yeah, the process is pretty in-depth. Yeah.
So we have had the opportunity of really seeing Cambridge City pull their Main Street group together and do some phenomenal things. Hagerstown now has the Heart of Hagerstown, which is their group. And Richmond has had theirs for quite some time, but seeing Centerville be the next one in line is really exciting.
Isn't it? It's and long overdue.
Long overdue.
Yes, yes. So we are really excited to be finally getting our designation for Main Street Centerville.
So for people who don't really know what a Main Street organization is, why don't you just start by telling us a little bit about what is a Main Street organization and why would Centerville need one?
Well, you know, I assume that a Main Street organization means a lot of different things to a lot of different communities. But, you know, in part of our, not to say it verbatim, but in part of our mission statement, you know, we want to work on development and redevelopment and vitalization, also learning the history of our wonderful community and educating people who live there and visitors. So it's a pretty broad spectrum of things that we would like to accomplish. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take involvement with the community.
Absolutely. The more volunteers, the better.
The more ideas, the better, without a doubt. Yeah.
But this group has really been pretty consistent in meeting regularly and working through a lot of the process, looking around the room. There are just so many people that have put in many hours to pull this together. And the application and the process to be designated, it's a long process.
It is. It's very in-depth, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's well worth the time and the effort.
Yeah, and again, as you pointed out, there's so many people and such a wonderful group who have spearheaded this, and I'm just really such a very small part of it. But I'm very honored to have been able to do the little bit that I did. So many did so much more, you know. And we do have consistent meetings. The board meets the first Thursday of every month, and we have an open meeting for the public the second Thursday of every month. And we invite anyone who would like to come to please come to those meetings. We need input and would love to hear visions that anyone would have for the future of Centerville.
And those meetings take place at Turner Insurance.
They do.
Kyle Turner is the president of the group.
He is.
Who could not be with us today.
Right.
So
Works very hard.
So glad that you're with us.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to be here as well.
So Main Street is designated through the Office of Community and Rural Affairs at the state level. And the Lieutenant Governor is the one who ultimately is owning the program a few steps up the ladder. But we're just pleased that she was able to find some time in her schedule to come over and be a part of this big celebration event that's going to take place on Wednesday, the 26th. In
Isn't it
Maplewood
exciting?
Park. It's right around the corner.
Right around the corner, yes. We have a lot of things planned, and we are so blessed that she's made time in her schedule to come. I mean, you know, the high school band's going to be there. We're going to have a meet and greet with her for a while. She's going to speak, and then later on we're having a beer garden and a band, and we're going to have some vendors. So it's just going to be a really fun time, and we invite everyone to come out and see us get this really wonderful honor that so many people have worked so hard to get.
When people kind of think of why would you go through all of that effort to get this designation through the state? Some of the things are just the overall organization that the state and support that the state offers through development opportunities and just being a resource for questions and things like that. But then there are also opportunities to get grant dollars to funnel into the town.
Certainly, without a doubt. I don't think the main purpose maybe should be grant dollars, but without a doubt, the support of having someone at a state level to kind of help pave the way for some of the ideas that we would like to see in our community is really the crux of why you would be doing it. And you know, we're working on a revitalization plan that needs to be repurposed. It hasn't been done for quite some time, and we are working hand in hand with our local administration there in Centerville to achieve that. So it just really helps the future become much brighter.
You know, I think when we look at small towns like Centerville, they're run by council members who that is not their full-time job. They have other jobs as well. They're doing this as on a mostly volunteer basis and really giving their time. But because of that, because it's not a full-time job, they aren't able to accomplish the things that some larger cities are able to do without the help of folks like those that are part of the Main Street.
Yes, without a doubt. And really, you think of it too, so many of us who are involved with Main Street have other positions as well. So now you maybe take two part-time people and combine them, and you have more of a full-time organization that can help move things forward.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this plan that you talked about to kind of revitalize this plan, give it an update, and then that will be a map really for the town and Main Street to be able to use to move forward just one step at a time to start seeing some influx of excitement in the community, hopefully influx of economic development in addition to beautification efforts and things like that.
Yeah, you know, the plan was, I believe, back in the 80s, and I wasn't around then, but it's amazing that so much of it is still pertinent today and what that revitalization plan brings to our community. So yes, it's really exciting.
When we talk about the history of Centerville, it's such a neat thing. You know, it used to be the county seat way back when. the log cabin is still there. People can come and see. You've got the arches and, of course, the festival that goes along with that. But when we look at businesses and people that have really invested in the economy of Centerville, of course, Warm Glow is a huge piece of that, and we thank you for being there and being a part of that, and not only with your business, but investing in the community as well.
Well,
and
I'm
so
a small
that's
town
huge.
girl, and really, I mean, we live there by choice.
Yeah.
We really love it. I love the feel of it. I love to be able to walk somewhere and say hi to people that know me, and it's a warm community, and it's a beautiful community. I mean, you know, the trees and the arches and the history of it is really appealing to us as a family.
It's very quaint.
Yes.
And
Very
so
quaint.
I think the folks of Centerville, myself included, just embrace that quaint. And it's really neat to see the different businesses kind of embrace that and own it and let that be one of the driving factors moving forward. So, so if people want to get involved, again, they can go to the website. There's a Main Street Centerville website. There's a Main Street Centerville Facebook page. All of the information's on there.
Or can call any of us. I mean, you know, my line's always open. I'm sure Kyle and yourself, we would talk with anyone about wanting to come and participate in our meetings and bring us suggestions and ideas and hear some of the wonderful things we've done already. I thought one of the great things that we did when we started making Main Street is we didn't know what our logo was going to be, and we were kind of throwing that around. And we invited the school to come in, and we had a high school students submit some of the logos for our Main Street, and we chose one from local students. So, you know, I just really feel we're just so much part community. You know, we really want to drive that forward.
Absolutely, which goes right into having the marching band at the celebration and wanting the residents to come and be a part of the festivities for the 26th. So again, if people want to come to that, it's open to the community, 5 o'clock. in a big tent, so if it's raining, you can still come. 5 o'clock and see the Lieutenant Governor briefly, hear about the vision moving forward for the town of Centerville. And then the 78s is a cover band that's going to play
Right.
on stage, and Ullery's ice cream and some barbecue.
Mom,
Kettle
kettle
corn.
corn. Yes.
And of course, a beer and wine garden. So it'll just be a family-friendly event that night.
Yes, yes, and we're all going to pray for nice weather. But again, we have a tent, so come anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jackie, for being with me today, and thank you for all that you do for our community.
Well, thank you for having me, and we're very blessed to be here.
We appreciate you tuning in this evening and hearing all about the great things that are going on around the county and with the chamber. And if you'd like more information about anything you heard, feel free to call our office at 765-962-1511 or visit our website at wcareachamber.org. We'll see you next week.